The rain hammered against the cab window as I navigated the twilight streets, the city lights smearing into a somber blur. I'd closed my business trip a day early, clinching that arduous deal after exhaustive negotiations. For 10 years, I'd immersed myself in my career, constructing our life brick by brick, bolstering my husband Caden and our family so he could hold his head high. From a naive young woman, I'd evolved into a formidable executive, all to afford him the security he merited. Tonight, I intended to astonish him with his beloved home-cooked meal, something soulful to compensate for the junk food he'd subsisted on during my absence. The idea dispelled my fatigue, igniting a flicker of anticipation. Yet that flicker waned upon entering our building's garage. In our elite parking spot, the one I'd invested over $50,000 in, a glossy red convertible idled, not ours. Peering at the license plate, a twist gripped my gut. It was my sister-in-law, Alicia's. It's midweek, I pondered. My brother Tyler is supervising a site far out, and Alicia ought to be at her job or with her parents. Why here now? I dismissed the disquiet, convincing myself she might have dropped by for Caden's counsel or to deposit something for Tyler. Dragging my suitcase to the elevator, I glimpsed my reflection, a 35-year-old in a crisp suit, fatigue carved into my face, shadowy under-eyes from relentless preparations. I questioned if Caden noticed, or if I was merely the provider to him. The elevator chimed on the 18th floor, the corridor vacant and resonant. I snuck to our door, thrilled for the reveal, and engaged the biometric lock for stealthy access. The condo was shadowy, drapes pulled, air dense with my customary lavender aroma, but intertwined with an alien, nearly saccharine scent. I shed my heels, poised to announce, when bedroom noises halted me. A woman's panting intermingled with a man's labored breaths. My heart sank. It wasn't media or talk, it was primal, unfiltered. Gulping, I crept to the ajar door. Through the light's sliver on the expansive bed with the slate sheets I'd refreshed pre-departure, two forms entangled fervently. The woman was Alicia, the kin I'd cherished as a sibling. Caden's tone, rough with desire, lacerated me. "You're so vibrant, love. Unlike my spouse, she's become a robotic earner. She ignites nothing in me now." Alicia tittered, her voice coy yet sharp. "Yet you're petrified of her discovering us." Caden snickered scornfully. "Petrified? She's scheduled for tomorrow. If she arrives early, I'll claim you needed plumbing aid. That gullible one swallows my every tale." Reality skewed. A decade of existence devoted to this union, reciprocated with derision and duplicity. Wrath surged, compelling me to invade, but my professional acumen prevailed calculated reason over impulsive fury. Quivering, I retrieved my phone, initiated recording, and documented 2 minutes of their perfidy via the crevice. Then, spectral-like, I withdrew, seized my luggage, and exited. In the taxi to my confidant and attorney Mia's abode, my frame quaked uncontrollably. Mia, beholding my pallid visage and bag, ushered me in. Upon viewing the footage, her judicial composure fractured with a bitter oath. She clasped my hand. "Zara, maintain composure. No outbursts, that's defeat. Allow them to self-sabotage. We'll divest them legally." Her advice anchored me. I was Zara, the warrior who dominated negotiations. Sentiments wouldn't dismantle me now. They'd reimburse profoundly for demolishing my realm.
Post-regrouping at Mia's, I meticulously reapplied cosmetics to conceal the swelling and hollowness, then returned home shrouded in darkness. Profound inhalation at the threshold. I was embarking on a performance, the supreme thespian. I ingressed noisily, proclaiming buoyantly, "Sweetheart, back prematurely, yearned for you immensely." Steps hurried from the chamber. Caden materialized in sleepwear, locks disarrayed, a glint of dread in his gaze he couldn't mask. He snatched my case, compelling a beam.
Wow, you mentioned tomorrow. Why no alert? Could have fetched you. I grinned, caressing his limb. The contact inwardly repelled me. Deal sealed swiftly, craved to astonish you. Aren't you elated? But my perceptions were heightened. Despite ventilated panes and profuse freshener, a unique fragrance persisted. Coco Chanel, Alicia's hallmark, the vial I'd presented her last anniversary. Evidence she'd been present, on him, in our domain. I disengaged, simulating weariness, and proceeded to the bedroom. All was excessively orderly, the linens exchanged from my charcoal ensemble to an antiquated rose one I'd relegated. "Hey, why alter the sheets?" I queried guilelessly. Caden faltered. Dripped coffee viewing shows, soiled them severely, so laundered and took these. A feeble fabrication, but I assented. Awkward you, I'll amend tomorrow. In the lavatory, cascade thundering, I regarded my image, eyes arid, determination fortifying. That evening, the timepiece pulsed like indictments. Caden slumbered tranquilly adjacent, his rear a barrier of alienation. I nestled on the brink, epidermis recoiling at any grace. How had our mutual aspirations devolved to this? At 2 a.m., his respirations profound, I maneuvered phantom-like. Employing his palm to unseal his device poignant, the identical palm from our pledges, I delved. Social platforms were immaculate, dubiously so, but in a concealed compartment masked as efficiency software, secured with Alicia's natal day, a deluge of lewd correspondences and images cascaded. Queasiness assaulted, but I persisted to his fiscal application. Disbursements: $500 for My Cherub, $12,000 A Destiny United, and a $9,000 adornment expenditure last week, the identical day he'd lamented occupational tribulations and evaded domestic dues. I'd even remitted him funds from sympathy. My credence subsidized his disloyalty. That twilight I labored late, abandoning him fretful. Residence, meal chilled, he warmed it obsequiously. Over seafood I exhaled. "You appear amiss, lately fitful nights?" He coerced a grin. "Occupational tension." I fastened gazes. "Concierge noted witnessing you depart late during my absences, reverting at Aurora, directing suburbsward." He gagged, perspiring despite climatization. "He's aired. Where'd I venture?" I urged. "Even believed he beheld you proximate Alicia's zone, perhaps verifying her welfare?" He absconded to bed, banging the portal. Inwardly, I smirked. Apprehension gnawed him. Subsequent morn, I departed prematurely, but convened Mia's suggested investigator. In a serene bistro, he proffered an envelope, snapshots of Caden and Alicia at intimate midday repasts, palms clasped, in admissions. Caden's affectionate beams, one's absent for epochs, panged. Home that eve, Caden enacted attentive spouse. His rub endeavor prompted recoil, aching, abstain. He receded, perplexed. Bedtime, his overtures encountered rebuff, exhausted. Our closeness perished there. Finances ensuing. Caden treasured currency depending on my triumph. Over an opulent supper, vino streaming, I proposed, espied a superb terrain bargain extract $100,000 from reserves for down payment. His goblet quivered, visage blanching. "Bizarre adverse, why haste?" I persisted. He admitted, allocated it wholly in equities, forfeited half. Deception, I knew he'd diverted it to Alicia and a covert residence. I simulated distress, but permitted it, implanting uncertainty. Kin repassed at progenitors, Alicia bedazzled in elegance, a glimmering choker capturing illumination, the $9,000 artifact. I lauded. Exquisite novel? She stuttered. Inexpensive imitation. Tyler radiated ingenuously. I pivoted to Caden. "Procure me a kin someday?" He sweated, diverting. germs disseminated. Firm soiree. I radiated, conversing with rumor monarch Mrs. Carter. Sighing dramatically, I divulged gossip of Caden's nocturnal excursions with a acquainted female resembling Alicia. Mrs. Carter's orbs sparkled. She'd propagated rapidly. Gossip struck. Caden's stormed domicile odorous of liquor. Tattlers tarnishing my repute, alleging infidelity, even with kin. I placated, disregard if blameless, but he shuddered, culpability fracturing him. Alicia fractured likewise. Enigmatic entries, nocturnal communications to Caden. Investigator image, her at a dispensary, grasping her abdomen. Instinct bellowed, gestation. Kin assembly. Alicia proclaimed, "I'm anticipating." Tyler whooped. Progenitors beamed. Caden blanched, utensil rattling. I saluted, "Felicitations, secure that parturition date scrutinized meticulously." Alicia paled. Automobile journey home. I contemplated, curious chronology. Tyler distant so prolonged. Caden veered, mute horror. Mia acquired dispensary data. Parturition date mismatched Tyler's non-attendances, synchronizing with Caden's assignations. I disseminated discord. Informed Caden Alicia alluded to coerced termination. Nameless communique to Alicia. Caden scheming evasion. Mia's revelation. Caden misappropriated $800,000 through rebates, channeled to phantom ledgers. I embedded skepticism in Tyler. Acquaint a caregiver at her dispensary, I'll have her inspect dossiers. Alicia panicked. Locator. Caden convened Alicia at isolated salon. I alerted Tyler incognito, witness personally. Tyler erupted, apprehended them disputing termination, funds. Perfidy detonated blows, imputations. I mediated. Sufficient. I possess substantiation recordings, disbursements. At Mia's, exhibited Tyler proof. He pledged dissolution. Dispatched misappropriation dossier to Caden's superiors. Terminated, dishonored. Ledger notification. Abode encumbered $250,000 clandestinely, my endorsement falsified via ruse. Encounter. Caden implored. I vended abode, liquidated obligation, retained yields. Separation, bistro. Alternatives, endorse pristine or confront incarceration. He endorsed, shattered. Matriarch-in-law accosted, beheld proof, regretted. Novel domicile with kin, tranquility, recuperation. Tyler reconstructed robustly. Alicia, solitary parent to Caden's replica offspring, toiling. Caden, toiler eluding obligations. No remorse equity dispensed. I reclaimed my existence, vocation flourishing. The days following the family lunch felt like walking through a minefield, each step calculated to avoid explosion while planting my own charges. I maintained an outward calm, the picture of a devoted wife, but inside, my mind was a whirlwind of strategy. Caden's paranoia grew palpable. He'd jump at sudden noises, his eyes darting to my phone whenever it buzzed. He didn't know I was the architect of his unease, but he sensed the walls closing in. That afternoon, I met with the private investigator again, this time in a nondescript park bench overlooking a foggy lake. The chill in the air matched the ice in my veins as he slid another envelope across. "More dirt," he said gruffly, his voice low. "Lunch dates weren't all. They've got a routine. Motels, gifts, even weekend getaways when you were out of town." I opened the envelope with steady hands, though my heart raced. Photos spilled out. Caden and Alicia in a cozy cafe, his hand on her knee under the table, another of them exiting a budget motel, clothes rumpled, faces flushed with satisfaction. One image showed Kaden slipping a velvet box into her hand, the necklace from the bank statement. My stomach churned. "How long?" I asked, voice flat. "At least 6 months based on timestamps, but the financials, that's where it gets ugly." He pulled out printouts, credit card bills for hotel rooms, lavish dinners, even a spa day billed as business expenses. Kaden had been siphoning from our joint accounts, masking it as work reimbursements. "He's clever," the PI admitted, "but not clever enough." Traces lead back. Internal monologue raced. 10 years of building a life, and he'd been chipping away at it for cheap thrills. I thanked the PI, paid his fee, and drove to the office, burying myself in reports to numb the pain. But work was my sanctuary now, a place where I controlled outcomes, unlike my marriage. That evening, Kaden tried normalcy, cooking pasta with a forced smile. "Missed cooking for you," he said, plating it. I poked at the food, then dropped casually. "Saw Alicia posting about a spa trip last month. Looked relaxing. You know anything about that?" His fork paused midair. No, why would I?" I shrugged. "Just curious. She tagged it with secret getaway. Thought maybe family stuff." Sweat beaded on his brow. He changed the subject to weather. Night fell, and as Kaden pretended to sleep, his phone lit up with a message. I glimpsed it. "We need to talk, scared." From Alicia. I smiled in the dark. Cracks forming. The next day, I escalated. Using a burner app, I sent Alicia an anonymous text. "Your lover's hiding assets, planning to bolt. Protect yourself." Then, to Kaden, told him over breakfast, "Alicia called me crying yesterday, said someone's pressuring her about the baby. Weird, right?" His coffee cup rattled. "Who? What'd she say?" I feigned innocence, didn't specify, just rambled about responsibility. "You think Tyler's stressing her?" He mumbled excuses and left early, but the tracker on his car showed him heading to a park, likely a meetup spot. Mia's call came mid-morning. "Got the clinic records. Due dates February 15th, conception around May 20. Tyler was on that out-of-state project then, remember? Gone 2 weeks." Proof. The baby wasn't Tyler's. Rage mixed with pity for my brother. "What now?" Mia asked. "We build the case. Divorce papers ready?" "Drafted, but Zara, this embezzlement, it's felony level. Company audit could land him years." I paused, weighing. "Hold for now. I want him to squirm." Internal thought. He'd stolen more than money. My trust, my youth, he'd pay in full. Afternoon brought another layer. I accessed our shared cloud drive, finding deleted but recoverable files, photos of them together, vacation plans. One email from Kaden to Alicia, "Can't wait to leave the old ball and chain, we'll start fresh." My blood boiled. I saved everything, then confronted subtly at dinner. "Honey, our savings look low. Any big expenses I missed?" He choked. "Just investments." Lie. I nodded, but added, "Checked the statements. Some odd transfers. Spa charges?" Panic flashed. "Must be errors." He retired early, but I heard him pacing, whispering on calls. The PI's next report. Alicia's shopping sprees, funded by Kaden's gifts. Designer bags, jewelry, all while Tyler slaved at construction sites. Disgust welled. I visited Tyler casually, bringing coffee to his site. "How's Alicia? Pregnancy smooth?" He beamed. "Great, craving weird stuff." I hinted, "Heard she's stressed. Maybe get the due date double-checked?" His brow furrowed. "Why?" "Just to be sure. Tech's advanced." Seed planted. He laughed it off, but I saw doubt flicker. Home, Kaden was jumpy. Work called. Rumors flying. I soothed, "What kind?" "Stupid stuff. Affairs." I gasped fakely. "Horrible! Who'd say that?" He eyed me suspiciously, but my concern disarmed. Bedtime, his advances again rejected. "Headache." He sighed, turning away. Internal. Touching him felt like poison now. Week's end. Mia's office. File thick with evidence. Embezzlement totals $800,000. Kickbacks from suppliers, inflated invoices, commissions to offshore accounts. Shock hit. He'd risked everything for greed. Why? To fund the affair, maybe escape plan. Contempt surged. We'll use it. But first, more psychological warfare. Told Caden, Alicia mentioned abortion pressure. Scary. He paled. She what? Crying on the phone, said someone's dodging responsibility. He exploded. That liar! Then caught himself. I mean, poor her, but mistrust brewed. Anonymous to Alicia. He's consulting lawyers, hiding money abroad. Her panic would push her to confront him. Tracker activated. They met at a cafe. I followed discreetly, snapping photos from afar. Heated argument visible. Satisfaction. Their alliance crumbling. Tyler's call. Zara, Alicia's acting weird. Won't show me the ultrasound. Says lost it. I advised, insist. For the baby. Doubt grew. Internal, pain for him, but necessary to free him. Evidence mounted. Bank logs, motel receipts, messages. I was ready for the kill. The storm broke on a rainy afternoon. Tyler's voice on the phone was frantic. Zara, something's off. Alicia's phone saw texts from Caden. Weird stuff. My heart ached, but I feigned shock. What? Show me. He forwarded screenshots. Miss you, babe. Can't wait for our life. Tyler, is this... Come over, I said. At Mia's neutral ground, I showed him the video. His face crumpled. No. How? Tears flowed. They used our bed? Rage built. Divorce her, he spat. And him? Leave to me. Caden home early, reeking of fear. Bad day? I asked sweetly. Yeah. Dinner. Tyler's upset, thinks Alicia's hiding something. He froze. Like what? Baby's paternity. He laughed nervously. Ridiculous. But sweat poured.
Tracker. Urgent meet at Lotus Lounge. I texted Tyler anonymously. They're there now, VIP 3. See the truth. He roared off on his bike. I followed, parking hidden. Tyler burst in. Shouts echoed. I entered. Chaos Caden bleeding. Alicia sobbing. Tavon, wait, Tyler. You bastards. Punches flew. Alicia, he forced me. Caden, she seduced me. They turned on each other. Tyler, the baby's his? Truth spilled. I stepped in. Enough. I have everything recorded. Shock. Video transfers all. Tyler hugged me, broken. We left them in ruins. At Mia's, full evidence to Tyler. He vomited, then steeled. Divorce. If kid's mine, custody. Else, nothing. Nodded. Next day, sent embezzlement to bosses. Caden called emergency. Fired, escorted out amid whispers. Bankmen at door. $250,000 mortgage forged signature. You tricked me, I yelled. He begged. Pay it, save us. Know us. Selling house, keeping proceeds. Cafe divorce. Papers ready. Sign or jail. Trembling, he did. Zara, chance? You had 10 years. Mother-in-law arrived, furious. Ruined my son. Showed video. She wept. Sorry, he's monster. Tyler evicted Alicia. Suitcases in rain. Go to him. She found Caden drunk. Your fault. Slaps, screams. Alone in storm. House sold. Debt cleared. Bought cozy home with garden parents. Tyler moved in. Peace descended. Dinners laughter-filled. Tyler healed. New job, gardening with dad. Saw Alicia online, struggling mom to Caden look-alike. Indifferent. Reaps what sows. Caden, laborer near border, debts chasing. No pity. Mia visited. Regret? Never. Cruelty to wicked is self-kindness. Career reignited. Big projects. Sky clear. Life mine. Scars? Strength. Hurricane past. I paint my horizon.